Good day, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 edition of the International Peace Festival, streaming live from Toronto, Canada. We are very honored today to have with us present a number of representatives from various nations and members of parliament from different, all levels of our parliament here in Canada. We will proceed with the land acknowledgements, and I would like to call Mr. David Caton to come to the podium to give the English version, and I will complete the French version subsequently. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm pleased and honored to share. Thank you. I'll share the land acknowledgement for the land that we're meeting on in English. We acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the territorial of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Hanishinaabe, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Thank you. Peace to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Caton, and now I will proceed with the French version. Nous reconnaissons que le territoire sur lequel nous nous réunissons est le territoire traditionnel de nombreuses nations, notamment les Mississaugas de Crédit, les Anishinaabe, les Chippewa, les Haudenosaunee et les Wendat, et qu'il abrite aujourd'hui de nombreux peuples des Premières Nations, des Inuits et des Métis. Nous reconnaissons également que Toronto est couverte par le traité numéro 13 avec les Mississaugas de Crédit. We will proceed now with our program, and I would like to thank the City of Toronto for providing us with the venue. We are streaming and presenting the International Peace Festival from Toronto, Canada from the Toronto City Hall. And without any further ado, I would like to introduce the award-winning Luminous Choir. They will be performing the peace anthem, We Are One, We Are the Rainbow, composed by renowned composer and musician John Cameron from the UK, who specifically composed this peace anthem for the International Peace Festival, where we will be opening our festival annually with the performance of the anthem. So without anything further, I will pass on the mic to the Luminous Choir, and we will proceed with the program. Thank you so very much. once again to the luminous choir, and we would kindly exit the podium. We will proceed with the program. Thank you once again to the award-winning Luminous Choir. They will be performing a number of choral selections at the closing of our program. So now, the Honorable Dr. Alvin Curling, the President and Chair of the International Peace Festival and the International Peace Alliance. Dr. Curling, if you would be kind enough to come to the podium. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And what a delightful choir that was. It really reflects actually what Canada is all about. That rainbow and that diversity and that celebration is beautiful. So I look forward actually to the course of the events that are supposed to be happening and will be happening to hear you all again. Thank you very much. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the opening session of this Peace Festival that we've worked so hard on. Not myself, I take all the praises, but I mean, I give it all to those who have been behind the scene, who have been working extremely hard on this. And we are welcome the Consul Generals who are here today, and I'm so happy to see them all. The Consul General from Japan, the Consul General from Greece, and the General. I'm going to really maybe mess this up a little bit, because the fact is that the couple of Consul Generals are on their way and it will be here, but I want to welcome you all here, Dr. Consul General Lee and all that, but especially one of my colleagues, member from York, York is it, yes. Young, who has the independent member in that region, and we want to wish you all the best in this festival that we do have here. What we're doing actually, as you know, at this time is so serious about peace. When we speak of peace, basically, we maybe think that we think internationally and we think nationally, and we think all these fancy titles that people have outside and in the government. But peace really is from us all, started from the institutional level, from the schools, from the individuals, how we conduct ourselves at home, how we conduct ourselves in sports and what have you. And if we can ever reflect ourselves, even from time where we have music and entertainment, and we look around and find that within the songs itself, there are strong messages of peace. But sometimes we forget that. We are more caught up with the rhythm and not with the message that is involved there. So it is extremely important that when we celebrate peace, we remember that, how we conduct ourselves in language. And I will maybe get into a little trouble with this one, but I remember when I came to Canada sometime way back, decades ago, I was fascinated by hockey. But when it was broken up by all that fight, I thought to myself, is that peace? Because sports is supposed to talk about how we can play together, how we can exchange, we can lose, we can win, and yet enjoy the diversity and what it offers to us all. So when we look this week to peace, let us look at the fact that whatever we do in life, let us think about peace and the conflicts that are happening around the world, but where it starts in the home. And we are seeing today how poverty has triggered, has impacted people with these conflicts that we have. So I just want to wish all those who are participating a wonderful, involving, engaging Peace Festival and commemorations. So thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Curling. And now I have the honor to present to all of you Ms. Larissa Galvao Pontes, Ms. Face of Humanity and the chair of our Global Peace Ambassadors Program, and I invite her kindly to join us to give us a few words of greeting. Thank you.
Hello, humanity. I'm very happy to be here in Toronto, in Canada again. Toronto was the first city outside of my country that I visited several years ago. My name is Larissa Galvão. I'm from Brazil. And with a great honor, I introduce myself as Miss Face of Humanity 2024. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure for me to be here in this date to celebrate the World Peace Day. I'd like to start my speech encouraging the little girls and young women, never give up your dreams, because one day your voice can be heard. Imagine one world full of peace, when our children can grow up in happy and healthy homes. I see the communication with the solution, the key for our conflicts. Only with dialogue we can change the world little by little. For this, listen or just open your eyes. Who is by your side? Feel empathy can be change the world. For today, let's just celebrate on the peace, the love that is within it's us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Pontes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to introduce His Excellency Mr. Leong Bili, for Honorary Consul General of Malaysia. And I would like to invite Mr. Lee to come to the podium to give his greetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and happy International Day of Peace. But apparently, the oldest and the shortest men speak first. Is that right? Anyway, first I'd like to congratulate the organizer for putting up this auspicious event today. And thank you for inviting me to celebrate with you this International Day of Peace. I'm honored indeed to share this stage with some of my consul generals and distinguished people in Toronto. This year's theme of cultivating a culture of peace is so relevant and timely in view of the conflict and turmoil the world is experiencing right now. Today we come together to celebrate peace, unity, and beauty of our shared humanity. After all, peace is the ultimate prize for humanity. Through the vibrant expression of culture, arts, music, and food, we embrace the diversity that make us unique, while finding common ground in our desire for harmony and understanding. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. This festival is a reminder that solutions are in our hands, and that through creativity and collaboration, we can bridge divides, promote empathy, and build a more peaceful world for all of us. Let us celebrate peace through the power of connection and the richness of diversity. In closing, I'd like to borrow a quote from John F. Kennedy about 60 plus years ago. Peace does not rest in the charters and covenants alone. It lies in the hearts and minds of all people. So let us not rest all our hopes on parchment and on papers. Let us strive to build peace, the desire for peace, a willingness to work for peace in the hearts and minds of all our people. I believe that we can. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Lee, for your kind remarks. And now I have the honor to present His Excellency, Mr. Ioannis Chatsantonakis, the Consul General of Greece in Toronto. Mr. Chatsantonakis, if you would do us the honor to come to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, dear colleagues, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a profound honor and joy to represent Greece at this significant event which celebrates peace and the power of cultural exchange. Greece, a nation with a rich and heroic history, has known both revolution and conflict, having fought many wars in pursuit of freedom. However, if there is one lesson we have consistently drawn from our past, is that peace, nurtured by the principle of democracy, is of fundamental importance. As such, our heritage has been marked by the ideas of democracy that continue to shape our role on the international stage. In this celebration of peace, Greece proudly contributes to the conversation through the film Listen, directed by Maria Duza. The film titles is symbolic, a simple yet powerful call to hear, understand, and connect. This is a message we wish to share with the world. True peace begins when we listen to one another. As Greece prepares to take its seat on the United Nations Security Council for the 2025-2026 term as a non-permanent member under the motto Dialogue, Diplomacy, Democracy, we aim to promote these values globally. With the olive branch as a timeless emblem of harmony and peace, Greece stands ready to contribute to a world where diplomacy prevails over conflict and dialogue fosters understanding. Today, we gather to celebrate peace, and I invite you to listen to the stories, messages, thoughts, and emotions that are conveyed. Through this film and all cultural expression this festival offers, we hope to inspire reflection, conversation, and action toward a more peaceful world. Finally, I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizers of this wonderful festival and the dedication and effort in bringing us together in the spirit of peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency, Mr. Chatsantonakis, Consul General of Greece. And now I have the honor to present to our audience His Excellency Mr. Matsunaga Takeshi, Consul General of Japan. Mr. Takeshi, please join us at the podium. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me today. And first of all, I'd like to thank the organizer of this wonderful event. And I hasten to add, I was marveled by the beauty of the choir, which epitomizes the beauty of this country. So beautiful, and it is a representation of the diversity of this country. I'm relatively new here, arriving at the end of January this year. In a relatively short period of time, I was marveled and overwhelmed by the beauty of the country, beauty of the province, beauty of the city. Not only by the landscape and climate, but also, and moreover, I'd say, I was overwhelmed by the beauty of the people in this country. Their kindness, warmth, open-mindedness, and the multiculturalism they embrace. I'm utterly overwhelmed by the beauty of the people of this country. I really feel very much privileged to be here. So, Dr. Carling, Mr. Kevin Wong, Member of the Parliament, Mr. Mampis, City Councillor, Toronto, Ms. Robinson, Pickering Councillor, and I also would like to thank the beautiful Ambassador of Peace, Ms. Liza Contes. Today is the International Day of Peace. This Peace Day is observed around the world each year on 21st September. Established in 1981 by unanimous United Nations General Assembly Resolution 36/67, the Assembly has declared this as a day devoted to commemorating and strengthening the ideals of peace both within and around all nations and peoples. The same resolution invites all member states of the United Nations, organs and organizations of the United Nations system, regional organizations, non-governmental organizations, peoples and individuals to commemorate in an appropriate manner the International Day of Peace, especially through all means of education, and to cooperate with the United Nations in the observance of that day. In his report of the International Year of Peace in 1987, the Secretary General explained that the International Day of Peace was to be marked at United Nations headquarters, with a ceremony at the Peace Bell in which the Secretary General would deliver a message, which the current Secretary General Antonio Guterres did on this September 13th, calling on the world to cultivate a culture of peace in a speech at the annual ceremony to ring the peace bell in the presence of representatives of the country's member states and officials of the United Nations Secretariat. This peace bell in the United Nations headquarters was donated by the United Nations Association of Japan in June 1954. Mr. Chiyoji Nakagawa proposed to build a peace bell as a symbol of hope for peace. The bell was cast from coins and medals donated by the representatives of member states of the United Nations, the Pope, and also people, including children from over 60 different nations who seconded his idea. The bell tower was modeled after the Hanamido a small temple decorated with flowers that symbolizes the peace where Buddha was born. In 1994, a special ceremony was held to mark the 40th anniversary of the Japanese Peace Bell. On that occasion, Secretary General Boutros Ghali said, "Whenever it was sounded, this Japanese peace bell has sent a clear message. The message is addressed to all humanity. Peace is precious. It is not enough to yearn for peace. Peace requires work, long, hard, difficult work." This year, Secretary General Guterres told the gathering, he said, "Here at the United Nations, peace is our raison d'etre." But he added that peace is under threat and war is on the march, he said. True, the peace is under threat. In this regard, I'd like to underline what Mr. Guterres stated 4 years ago. Peace is never a given. It is an aspiration that is only as strong as our conviction and only as durable as our hope. True, the world is not perfect in this regard. I also recall the point Mr. Guterres made in the same statement. He drew the attention of the audience to Japanese culture, which has a deep appreciation for natural imperfections and flaws. This is reflected in the art of kintsugi, he said, which is putting broken pieces of pottery together with golden lacquer to create a stronger, more beautiful whole. The result is a piece that is not good as new, but better than new. As we mark the International Day of Peace, let's apply this principle to our fractured world, he said. I think this is word to the wise of the moment. As Mr. Boutros Ghali said again, peace requires work, long, hard, difficult work. Therefore, we must not give up upholding, safeguarding, and standing up for the rule of law, the fundamental basis for maintaining peace. Let's not give up pushing for peace. Let's continue aspiring and working to build a just and safer world where all can live in peace. Thank you very much.
Once again, I would like to thank His Excellency, Mr. Matsunako Takeshi, for his kind remarks. And to proceed further, I would like now to invite Dr. Kevin Wong, Member of Parliament for Spadina, Port York. Thank you.
I'm very thrilled to be here, and I think it's quite fitting that we're kicking off the International Peace Festival in Toronto. For those who don't know, actually just in the northwest corner of Toronto City Hall here in Nathan Phillips Square is a peace garden, and that's to remind Torontonians and Canadians of the price of war, and to remember those lost, paying a special homage to the people of Japan and the lives lost during conflict. But also we have at Nathan Phillips Square, we have these arches that go over a reflection pool. And within those arches, a lot of people don't know that there is a piece of the Berlin Wall that is in the middle arch. And that is also to remind people of the price of division and why it's so important that we find unity and we find peace. Now, I'm grateful to be able to share a podium with so many members of our diplomatic community, our Canada's Partners for Peace. But also, I think it's important to especially recognize Dr. Alvin Curling. Dr. Curling was actually the very first Black Canadian to hold a cabinet-level position in Ontario. And it's trailblazers like Dr. Curling that have made it easier for people like myself and others to be able to serve today to reflect the many faces of Toronto and Canada. My name is Kevin Vong, and I'm honored to be the Member of Parliament here in Toronto for the people of Spadina-Fort York. And I'm also speaking to you, though, as a son of peace, because my parents were refugees from the Vietnam War, and Canada welcomed them at a time when other countries were closing their borders to people in need. And Toronto was the first peaceful land, the city where my parents built a life together and ultimately raised me. And so, for me, peace is something that I have never taken for granted, because the very beginning of my family's story here in Toronto, Canada, was from conflict. And unfortunately, we know today, peace is not something that other parts of the world take for granted. And that's why I think it's especially important that we come together every day, but especially today, on the World International Day of Peace, to reaffirm our commitment to advancing peace through a universal language, the universal language of art. And what an incredible, incredible choir that was in singing the anthem that we heard earlier today. So I'm grateful to be here as a son of peace, to add my voice, so that together, hopefully, other countries and other places around the world can enjoy the very freedoms and peace that we have here in Toronto, Canada. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Fong. And we will proceed now with Mr. Sheriff Sabari, Member of the Cabinet for Mississauga area. Sir, please bring us the podium. Thank you.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very delighted and have the honor to be here today for this immersive gathering. And the day, the Peace, International Peace Day, Day of Peace, is a very important occasion to remind us that peace is an important, and we need to work hard to make sure that there is peace around the world. It's not going to happen by itself because of all kinds of interests and crossings, but if there is will, there is a need. And I think if everyone worked towards that, it's going to happen, or at least we'll have some successes from time to time. But this day is just reminding us, reminding the whole world, and we need to educate the young people. We need to make sure that our education system is serving that. And in Canada, Canada is very known, and it's an icon of peace all over the world. Coming from a different country, from the Middle East, I know that Canada was always looked at as a symbol, an icon of peace. And we should be in front for this occasion. I'm bringing the remarks from Minister Doug Ford. My name is Chief Savaro. I'm the MPP from Mississauga and Mills and the Parliamentary Assistant for the Minister of Citizenship and Multiculturalism. It is an honor to speak to you today and celebrate the United Nations International Day of Peace. First off, I would like to thank the entire team of the International Peace Festival and the volunteers who have helped bringing this day event to life. As a government, we applaud important events like the International Day of Peace, as it is prompt a celebration of cultural diversity and community safety. Hosting the International Day of Peace is a major showcase event that reflects and celebrates Ontario's values of peace, diversity, and inclusion. We recognize that here in Ontario, our diversity is a source of our strength. As home to people from all over the world, we are made stronger every day because of the variety of backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs that make up our communities. Today and every day, let us celebrate our diversity and continue to build a stronger, more inclusive and welcoming Ontario for all. Thank you very much and enjoy the day.
Thank you so very much for this great honor from the Legislative Assembly of Toronto and Mr. Sabawi. I have the great honor and privilege to introduce to you next Mr. Nick Mantas, Toronto City Councillor for Scarborough Agincourt, and also the one who assisted us in organizing the venue with the Toronto City Hall, as he is a councillor at the City of Toronto. So we want to thank him and to thank the City of Toronto for honoring this great day today and permitting us to film and stream this live to a worldwide audience. Thank you, and Mr. Mantas, you kindly honor us with your presence here today. Thank you.
Dr. Gerling, Your Excellencies, all the members from all levels of government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to welcome you all to Toronto City Hall and to extend our warmest wishes for today's UN International Peace Conference and Festival. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the organizers and participants gathered at Toronto City Hall for the opening ceremony of the 2024 International Peace Festival. This year's grand celebration of the UN International Day of Peace is a powerful reminder of our shared commitment to fostering a culture of peace through the transformative power of art, music, film, and dialogue. The International Peace Festival continues to be a unique cultural phenomenon and a remarkable platform for bringing together diverse voices, offering new perspectives on peace and strengthening the bonds of unity across nations. I commend your efforts to inspire hope, compassion, understanding, and solidarity across the globe. May this festival grow in influence and promote peace and collaboration, and may the messages conveyed through the arts resonate for beyond today's event. Congratulations to all, and may peace prevail. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It is an honor to receive this letter, and I would like to thank Councillor Mantas for honoring us here today. Now, I would like to invite a number of representatives from our local communities here in Toronto. I would like to invite next Ms. Buki Ojo, who will be giving us a few words on behalf of the African community. Thank you so very much.
Good morning, everybody. No response? Is it afternoon? Okay, so let's try again. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Buki Ojo. I am a Nigerian Canadian. I have been in Canada for the most of my life as an adult. I came into Canada as a 22-year-old girl, fresh from university, coming to a land that my dad said, I have been to so many places in the world except Canada. You go to Canada and break grounds in Canada. And all we know at the time is that Canada is a very cold country. I mean, it's still what everybody thinks. And my first meal in Canada was ice cream, because everything else looked too mushy-gushy. I'm like, what are these people eating? But I'm privileged to be standing in front of you here to talk about Africa and what peace means to us. The definition of peace in an African person's mind. Let me give you an idea of what that means. When I go into the store and I buy something from the store, and the store owner says to me, "Do you want your receipt?" What do you think my answer always is? Anyone wants to take a guess? My answer always is, yes, of course. Don't you see the skin? Don't you see the color of my skin? And then they go like, okay, is it something I do purposely? Well, I do it subconsciously, whereby I don't want a situation where I am prejudged based on the color of my skin with that assumption that I may have taken something and walked out of the store. So without even thinking about it, I'm always with my receipt. And if you were to go back and watch me, I always put my receipt in front of like that as I'm walking out of the store. Subconsciously. What does peace mean to an African person? Peace is a world where we don't have to consciously be told that we are Africans. We're just human beings. Peace for us would be when we can just be, and just be, like, you know, just be and not always feel segregated or pointed out or too conspicuous or whatever tag that is being put in front of us. I salute everybody here. That's what I should have said first, sitting on all protocols. For every single one of you that have showed up, it shows that you prefer peace to war. You understand what it means for us to have peace. It's a global thing. Let me give you a quick story before I leave. In Nigeria years ago, so I speak for Africa, yes, I've been told to come speak for Africa, but I can only speak from the experience I have. I remember that when the Boko Harams, I think that's what they're called, I was already in Canada, started to kind of gain some kind of traction, started to kind of gain some kind of, identity, sort of. A lot of people like us stood up and said, what is going on with the northern part of Nigeria? Why are they killing themselves? And so when I went to the western part of Nigeria, southern part of Nigeria to speak about it, because I'm from the south of Nigeria, they'll be like, it is their problem. They are killing themselves. Let them kill themselves. That was the mentality. But I and a group of us kept saying over and over and over, they are using themselves as a practice ground, if you don't understand. That this problem that you're saying it's their problem is eventually coming to become our problem if we don't fix it now when we can fix it. And I was like a prophetess because that became a reality in Nigeria. Now Boko Haram is everywhere. Kidnapping is everywhere. They've almost lost control over it. It has become even an economic thing now because at the time when they could have curbed it and say it is our problem as opposed to their problem, they didn't do anything about it. I mean, I'm not the one to speak on history or speak on what the war is doing for us. Everybody can, we all know this. But how many of you would agree with me that the war all over the world is affecting us somehow? Just nod your head if you agree. Don't you think? I remember that when I'm a Rotarian, and I come from a generation of Rotarians. My father was a big Rotarian, Lions Club and all that, and all my family members were also Rotarians. And during the war with Ukraine, Rotarians gathered all over, and we were talking about what we can do as Rotarians for Ukrainians and students, especially students. My own interest was for the African students and the minority students who were studying in Ukraine. And I did not like, I did not like the fact that, again, in a world where we should all collectively be pushing for peace, there was also segregation. I mean, I got a lot of calls and emails and everything from mothers, black mothers, whose children were told not to enter a particular bus because the white ones had to enter first. These are the things that we shouldn't sweep under the carpet. So it's war. Everyone is running for their life. But then is one life better than the other? Is one life valued more than the other? What does peace mean to us all? Peace means that when there's peace here in Canada, as we like to say, we're nice, please and thank you people. You can't even imagine how I flunked that when I go to the United States. I feel like as a Canadian, we just have good spirit, we have good personality. But then we should take it to the next level. It's a good thing that we're having the festival here in Canada. We should take it to the next level where we know that peace here, when we have peace here, it means that we want to reciprocate and replicate that peace in other parts of the world. Otherwise, I'll leave you to your imaginations. My name is Buki Ojo. Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to seeing everybody at the gala. Come dressing pretty. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Ojo. And now I would like to invite Ms. Christina Chang, who will give us a few words on behalf of the Chinese community in Toronto. Thank you.
Honored guests, distinguished leaders, and the fellow citizens of the world. It's with great pride and joy that we get here today to celebrate unity, understanding, and peace. Our community believes deeply in the power of a cultural exchange and mutual understanding to foster peace. We stand united with people of all backgrounds in pursuit of harmony and cooperation across the board. Together, we can build a bridge of friendship and create a world for future generations where peace is not just a goal, but a way of life. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Chang. And now we will proceed with the closing part of the opening ceremony by having our luminous choir come on stage to perform the final choral selections. There are two beautiful pieces that will be performed, and then we will proceed with the closing. Please, ladies and gentlemen from the choir, if you would kindly take your positions on the stage. After this, I would like to remind everyone that we will end the opening ceremony, but we are going to have the youth panel discussion begin once we have completed the opening ceremony portion of the program. So please join us once again later this afternoon for the Youth for Peace panel discussion with our distinguished guests and panelists. And following the youth panel discussion, we will have the opening film for our festival, Sound of Freedom, which has been awarded the Film of the Year Film Merit Award by our organization. So please do stay in tune, and I will now pass on the mantle or the microphone to the Luminous Choir to proceed. Thank you so very much.
last song is a famous song from opera Prince Igor by Alexander Borodin, and the lyrics were written especially for our occasion, for this beautiful International Peace Festival, by our soloist hip-hop artist, The Universe.
For the peace, cause the war is the worst. And from outside the country, the people we work with, a world full of hate would have to be the worst thing. What happened to trying to be a better person? Life without peace is a crease in our nature. Continue this route and we'll all be in danger. How the heck for the people trying to pay for the funds, taking taxes, moving millions through the system every month? Ain't nothing that's worth giving into the chaos. Profiting, you stacking up the things that'll pay off. Taking taxes, moving millions. What we doing? How we living? Man, we should be in our prime, but we're going back in time. If we don't change up our ways, we'll have a 1939. Man, that's so sad. Love to the ones that couldn't make it, I'ma make it for you. They can gentrify my hood, but they can change the soil. This ain't for the gang, I feel we all relate. At the end of the day, we don't discriminate. Street kid, but the town is suburban. They'll say that I changed, but I'm still the same person. Growing up, man, I had to change a version. The change that I need, then I needed it for certain. If we don't change a wheel, it'll hurt us. Like running a business, we need us a surplus. Like an artist that'll crave to the surface. I'm here for my people to reshape my purpose. Chose the life I live, cause it's a life of positivity. Anything is possible in a world of possibility. With the power like this, there's responsibility to make the world better, such as your ability. Man, I'm standing all perfect, but the truth is I'm nervous to live in a world that is more like a circus. I'll give you that fire like I'm feeding the furnace, or hard on my sleeve, but I'll chill out the thermos. The life that I live is a life of positivity. Anything is possible in a world of possibility. Life that I live is a life of positivity. Anything is possible in a world of possibility. Life that I live is a life of positivity. Anything is possible in a world of possibility. About how we have to live a life that's a circus. I'm standing all here, we're all perfect, but I'm nervous. How we gonna live in a life that's a circus? Thank you for having me. One time for the choir.
so very much to the members of the Luminous Choir, the Artist Universe, and also to the Artistic Director, Mr. Daniel Biba, and Choir Master, Ms. Elena Schlenki. Thank you so very much to all. And we will proceed now with the final closing remarks if the choir would like to exit the stage. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests around the world for joining us today to celebrate International Day of Peace. This has been an honor. We would like to remind all of you that the program for the International Peace Festival will be continuing through to September 28th. Tomorrow we have our musical or Music for Peace performances at the University Club of Toronto, beginning at 12 noon with the Indian Music Wing and Indian Music Celebration, to be continued with the choir, women's, the Sunday Women's Choir, and then we have the screening of the film What We Deserve, to be followed by a selection of musical performances with the band Metal, Health and Recovery, and other artists that will be joining us at the University Club of Toronto. For today, we will continue our program after we complete the opening celebrations with the panel discussion, Youth for Peace, which will begin momentarily. So you're all welcome to tune in again. And this will be followed by the film screening of Sound of Freedom, a film that discusses a very serious issue regarding child trafficking. We also welcome you to take note of our film selections and our film program that will be online virtually throughout the week. And for our closing day of September 28th, we have 3 major events scheduled, with our International Conference on Cultural Heritage and Peace, to be followed by the awards ceremony and concert, and then with the Peace Ambassadors Gala. This will be on September 28th at the King Edward Hotel in Toronto. So thank you so very much to all of you. I want to thank all our distinguished guests and dignitaries, and of course our beautiful choir, as well as all the volunteers who have helped, and everyone else, the technical crew who have worked so diligently to put this together and to be filmed and aired. And again, to all of you who are here present, including our volunteers who have been working throughout the years with us at no compensation. So we have to give them credit, and we want to thank them so very much. I would like now to close the festival and proceed with the program as we have it scheduled for this afternoon. Thank you all.